Good afternoon, everybody. Today, a little bit of a break from the normal things I've been streaming about. I'm working on Deploy the Fleet, the OTA firmware update service that I created. I'm trying to put some more time on that in 2023. And so I need to get the Arduino libraries updated and pulled forward because I don't think that they work. So I've got Arduino libraries for both the 8266 and the ESP32. I have a Feather Huzzah here that's an 8266 and a Dev Kit C that's a 32 that I will just work on updating the libraries so that they compile. I had somebody that's new to the service try to pull it. It wouldn't compile. Luckily enough, he was able to work through that and get it to work, but it should definitely work out of the box. So we need to fix that. So I already have these deployed. I might need to relaunch this, like a new sketch. Let's close this one and see if they show up. It's kind of a UI thing here in Arduino. It like goes off the screen, so you can't see it, but it is on my monitor that's below here. Okay, no, it needs to completely be restarted and refreshed. So let's do that. And I'll resize it here. It's nice and big. Okay. Now I'm hoping it'll have both of them. And it does not. Probably because I have extra stuff in the folder. So let's look at that. So it's in this folder. That's the license to readme. I wonder if like the git ignore or anything throws it off, but anyway, we will go through. Bellum, what's up? Always great to have you. What did we do here? There you go. Well, let's select a board. Let's start with the 8266. So 8266, that looks good. I would expect it. The examples right now says incompatible. So it doesn't like something. What I tried to do and what I thought I could do, obviously not, is I cloned both of these into the libraries folder. And I thought that was all we needed to do, and that I could like modify them in place. But it's not picking it up for some reason. No, it is. Sorry, it is. Okay, great. First thing I want to talk about, which is something I learned. I made these in Arduino, these Arduino libraries like 2 years ago. And they've obviously changed how things work because now when you come in, and I wish you could see it and that it wasn't going off screen. And I don't know how to make that happen. But what happens is they go to the examples, and then off the screen, see how there's a heading here that says examples for Arduino Feather Huzzah ESP8266. There's another header that says examples from custom libraries, and it's just all caps incompatible. And I can't open anything up there. And the reason I found for that, thanks to my good buddy Zach from Blues Wireless, is that this naming convention is very strict. So I have an examples folder. If you put an examples folder in your library, it will show up in the Arduino IDE only if you've named everything correctly. And the problem I have is the folder I put it in is called update in loop. And then I have a little simple contrived example to show how to integrate with deploy the fleet. But it's called update underscore in underscore loop, which means it will not show up. And so what I have to do, first of all, to fix my library is I need to rename this. It has to match the folder name exactly. Case sensitive, underscores, whatever. So we're just going to change this to update in loop. Now, I don't think the Arduino IDE will refresh Like it doesn't have like a watcher running. So it's still going to say incompatible. I believe it does. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close. No. And then we'll just launch it again. And that should fix the first issue that we have on our 8266 library. And so now if I go File, Examples, I do have right off screen here, ESP8266 update in loop. So I'm going to click on that. And you see it now it opens up my example. So first problem fixed. That is great. Let's just slide this up so you can see the whole thing there. Okay, and now apparently what happens is if I hit verify, it will fail to compile. So let's see that. Sure what that was. Error while auto scroll is super annoying. Okay, well, yeah, it's going to say I have to define Wi-Fi password and stuff. Error while detecting libraries included by... Huh. Not sure what's going on there. So the first things we're going to have to solve are these. To make these handy, I intentionally throw an error if you have not defined your Wi-Fi SSID. And so I have a special one here that I use for all my IoT devices. It's separate from my main network. It's called sidnet_IoT. And the password is a nod to Juicero. If you get it, you get it. If not, look it up. Juicero2. And then my update URL, I gotta uncomment these. My update URL will get to, it'll be HTTPS something. And my current version is gonna be like 1.0.0. I should put, well, I have a thing in here. You must uncomment, sorry, I've got something in my, you must uncomment the following 4 lines and set each one to appropriate values for your project. I guess that's pretty clear. Okay, so let's save that. Oh, you'll need to resave this sketch. Oh, because it's the example. Okay. So I'm going to save this to whatever, just my downloads folder. Update and loop. Sure. Save. There we go. Okay. And now let's verify it. And okay, so yeah, all that stays the same. Let's come back down here. Ah, great. So we do have errors. It does not build out of the box. And it's saying, oh, yeah, this was the exact problem that I guessed it was when the person reported it. And it's saying enumeration value, HTTP update okay, not handled in switch. And so let's go take a look at the source code of our library, which is up here in the source folder. Not a whole lot going on here. As you can see, just over 50 lines of code. I have a, oh, sorry, I'm still in the examples. Let's go into here. This one, yeah, okay. Almost 150 lines of code. Most of which is the cert. This is the cert to the service so that it can check in just fine. And if we come down here to the main function that gets called get firmware update, you can see I have a switch here, and I don't have a default case, first of all. And these were all things that used to compile, but I guess Arduino has tightened up, like added W error and things like that, so that the compilation is a little more strict, which I think is great. And I'm actually a little embarrassed and disappointed in myself that I left this the way it was 2 years ago. And the reason I did that was probably because the Arduino IDE didn't complain, even though I should have known better. So it's saying that I wish I could I probably could if I put where the sources were, but the output saying enumeration value HTTP update OK not handled. I don't know how many there are, and the compiler would probably just tell us. So let's add a one for HTTP update OK and see if we still get an error without the default. We'll say case HTTP update OK. And I don't know, say something like update succeeded. And do we need to, well, I guess we can still have a return value. Update failed. Yeah, let's just add a update succeeded. Okay. And then in here, we will do a return DT F update response. Update succeeded. Break. Okay. And then I assume we can just rebuild down in here. Okay. Control reaches end of non-void function, and it's still giving me this 117. I think it's still the default that's giving us issues here. 117. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's. Let's take a look at the error message one more time. In static member function, error, control reaches end of non-void function. Yeah, okay. This is definitely the default. And I guess the question is, what do we want to return in the deep? Like, if it's none of those things, do I want to return update succeeded? Because that doesn't seem correct. It didn't necessarily fail, so I'm going to, for now, we're going to return DTF update response. No update available. And see if that builds now. Looks like it's gonna go. And what are we saying here? ES38. So I think we're all set. Using library. Yeah, okay, cool. So the other thing that we'll need to do here is come into our library.properties. We'll change this to 1.0. Whoa, what was that? Change that to a 5. And I think that's all we really need to change. Change it to 1.0.5. If I recall correctly, since the library is already available in the library manager, all we have to do is push updates to main, and I think Arduino runs like a nightly check of all the forks that it has and says, "Hey, there's a new version," so it'll pull it. Like there's no branching or anything like that. I think you just push a new version up, and it handles all that on the Arduino side. I think is how I remember it. So I think that's it. That's all. I think that's all we have to do on this one. Let's shoot. Let's grab this. I'm gonna take this down one more page here, and then let's go to app.fleet.io. Geez, I don't remember my login. I'm gonna pull it off screen here so you can't see it while I try to remember what it is. I have a password manager for it, so but in a private thing it won't okay, and I'll just copy that. Okay. Let's get this centered back up. Good enough? Cool. ESP8266 Arduino core. Apparently the last time I was testing this, I was on version 3. Cool. So let's update. Well, first of all, let's try this. We should just be able to grab the URL here and get this version 3, which should still work, I guess. So let's dump that in here. And we'll call this version 4.0. And then we'll say sketch export compiled binary. And we can come to firmwares, upload new firmware. Let me get a file window here. The Shirk, hey, thanks for joining the stream. First of all, am I planning on putting this stream in my YouTube channel? Yeah, I think so. I think I will. I haven't been lately. I've just been kind of streaming on Twitch, but I think I will throw this one up on YouTube. Thanks for joining. Okay. So downloads. Where'd that thing go? Update and loop. Okay. So let's come back down here. Let's grab a it's interesting how it names it adafruit.bin. And this was not what I say, 4.0.0. Don't need an extra thing here. Mark as product default, upload. Okay, so that all works. And now what I should be able to do is just take my feather here and plug it in. Let's come back up to the Arduino IDE. Do tools. The board's right. I need the port is right as well. And now let's upload it. I don't know if this was the same one I used before or not. Okay, well, it's uploading. Not very quickly. These 8266s take a little bit. The ESP32 programs significantly faster. Oh, and I need to be able to do monitor. Give me the monitor. Okay, this is version 4.0. You can see that right there, which is all this firmware does. But now let's go to deploy the fleet, and we should go to devices, and we're going to hit refresh. Okay, so this is the exact same device I used when I wrote the library originally. So it's showing 4.0.0. Cool. Now to like finish out this test, let's change it to 5.0.0. Save it. Just do export compiled binary. Great. Sorry, I'm just grabbing a folder here. Okay, so update and loop just now came in, so let's come to firmwares. My drag and drop hasn't been working since I believe Flatpak. Like, so Brave's installed as a Flatpak Linux thing. I feel like the drag and dropping has not been working since then. So let's try it. I'm going to grab the adafruit.bin that just built and drag it. Oh no, look at that. That did work. Cool. Okay, so there we go. This is version 5.0.0. I'm going to mark it as the default. Upload. Okay, so now we have 5.0.0, which is what we changed here. And now it's still plugged in down here, but I'm not going to hit upload because all we need to do is hit reset, and it should get the update via OTA. So let's do that. Hit reset. It is booting up. It's going to go through that process. Let's come to devices and see what we get here. Okay, yeah, you can see it hit deploy the fleet. It's saying, hey, there's a version 5.0. Let's go back up. It should flash itself, and then it should reboot, and we should see this is version 5.0.0, and if so, we're done. I also just noticed down here in the IDE, it says version 1.0.5 of the Deploy the Fleet library, which is great. And here we go, deploy the fleet. So this was the reboot here, and now we should get version 5. It does reach out to deploy the fleet again to report its version. So now, sweet. This is version 5.0.0. I love it. Like, so I'm trying to spend more time on this in 2023. I built this service a while back. I have a good number of people that have signed up. I've had some companies reach out saying they're interested, but I never gave it any love or time, and it's fairly minimal feature set at this point, but I want to give it some more love this year, along with all the other projects I'm working on. If we come back down to deploy the fleet now and refresh our device list, you'll see now it just says version 5.0.0, and we are all set. So great. That is all we needed to do to pull the library forward. Just take a look at the difference here. So we updated the version to 1.0.5, obviously. We renamed the example, so now it will show up properly in the examples list. And then we added a case for update OK to return a success. And yeah. Okay. So that's all we needed to do for the 8266. Honestly, my guess is if we come up here and we collapse, the 32 is almost identical. Like if we look at the source, it's got the cert, it does all the same thing. I made it a separate library so that you could include it, you know, the one specific, or if there were specific things. The Wi-Fi is handled a little differently, but you can see I'm missing the HTTP update OK case here and the default. So instead of boring you with me doing the exact same change again, I think I'll call the stream. I just wanted to, I just want to stream a bit and show what we were working on updating these libraries. So let me just check the chat real quick. Any questions? Nope. Okay, sweet. So like I said, now that I've made the update, all I have to do is push, do a commit, push, and then I think tonight, by tomorrow, there should be a version 1.0.5. Let me just show that really quick, and then we'll close out here. If you come to the tools, manage libraries, library manager, and then on the filter search, if I do DTF, you'll see I get deploy the fleet, and you get this version drop down, like which version. We're using 104, but well, 105 because I'm editing it in place. But after pushing this up tomorrow, I should see a version .105. So the last part of this change will be to come back and make sure that the right version got pulled into the Arduino library manager. One more test I want to do, actually. Is this. I've got, so this is the flat pack version. You can see Arduino 1.8.19 is what version I'm running here. And I was having some issues, and so I downloaded the, if I can find it, Arduino 2.0. Here we go. Arduino app image. I think we just click on that. Oh, here we go. It's down in front of me. Let me pull that up here. So this is Arduino. You can see it says right here 2.0.4 nightly. Let's just make sure everything looks okay there. And I think all we need to do really is just say file open. And then we'll do downloads, update, and loop. Let's open this. Classic Arduino fashion. It opens up a whole new window. Just to make sure anybody that might be using the bleeding edge Arduino, I assume should have no issues with this as well. So I'm just going to hit verify. Missing fully qualified board name. Yep, we have to come up here and select USB 0, and then this is the 8266 Feather Huzzah. Okay. And now we should try to verify. See how that works. And as long as it builds, I assume we're good to go. Almost there. Hope everybody's having an awesome start to 2023. We always start with a lot of good intentions and goals, so hopefully yours are going well. All right, that built just fine, so I think it's safe to say we're good in both the 1. And 2. Versions of the IDE, including the library. It pulls the library from the same, 2.0 pulls the library from the same place, in case you were wondering. So, all right, well, thanks again, everybody. Hope you have an amazing weekend coming up, and we will see you next time.